Hi there and welcome back to Noal Food. Today we are undertaking a very special mission. Imagine the scent of simmering fruit filling the air, not just for one breakfast, but for thousands. We are taking you behind the scenes of a major production run, processing hundreds of jars of delicious cherry jam destined for supermarket aisles. It involves hard work, heavy lifting, and sweet rewards. Want to see how we tackle this massive order from start to finish? Let's get cooking and explore this journey together. excited about the journey we are taking today. Have you ever looked at a bottle of soothing aloe vera gel and wondered, how on earth do they make thousands of these every single day? Well, we are about to find out. We're going deep inside a massive factory to see how raw, spiky plants get transformed into that crystal clear gel we all love. The scale of this operation is honestly mind-blowing. So, if you're as curious as I am to see how this magic happens, come along. Let's go explore this together. Wow, look at that view. It is literally an endless ocean of thick, green, succulent leaves. Down here, machines move in formation, gliding over rows of those spiky aloe bushes. See the leaves piling up? You can actually see the thick cut base dripping sap. It is a massive convoy. 50 trucks are lined up, carrying mounds of dusty leaves. Watch the tilt. It creates an avalanche of harvested aloe tumbling right down to us. This receiving pit is huge, filled with tons of raw material, their green skins glistening. Now comes the cleaning storm. High-pressure water jets blast every bit of dirt away. Inside this giant metal drum, wet leaves crash against each other to get perfectly clean. We use crystal clear water here. It cycles through pipes, washing over the plant matter. Hygiene is everything. White steam sanitizes the sharp blades before they touch the aloe skin. This is high-tech. Red laser lines scan the shape of every leaf for precise cutting. Machines slice off the green rind, revealing the beautiful translucent white flesh hiding inside. Look at those chunky slabs of transparent aloe meat sliding out like blocks of ice. Green rinds fly sideways to be discarded, leaving only the pure, clear aloe jelly blocks. Slippery aloe fillets slide down polished stainless steel chutes, moving fast to the next step. Scene 18, now metal gears crush the solid meat, turning it into a chunky, wet pulp immediately. Thick, clear aloe pulp is pumped through transparent sanitary pipes to keep it totally safe. This diagram shows the secret. The material is sealed in a closed loop from the air. Watch the cloudy pulp transform. Filtration turns it into a water-clear liquid right before your eyes. Raw extract flows through activated carbon towers to ensure absolutely nothing harmful remains inside it. Even at a microscopic level, you can see impurities being removed from the liquid structure. We flash pasteurize now. Heating the clear fluid instantly makes it safe without boiling it. This is the tank farm. Massive silos are storing tons of purified aloe vera concentrate. The finish is so polished that you see reflections on the tank containing precious aloe liquid. Needles inject essential vitamins into the swirling aloe base to boost benefits for your skin. Inside the mixer, it forms a perfect vortex of thick, clear gel. It is mesmerizing. Finally, the green light turns on. The sensor confirms the absolute purity of the gel. It looks like a river of bottles. Thousands of clear containers are ready for filling. Before filling, a strong blast of air rinses every bottle to ensure they are clean. Nozzles inject cool, green-tinted aloe gel into the bottles with incredible speed and accuracy. Viscous gel settles at the exact same level in every single bottle. Precision is key. Caps are applied instantly. They seal the fresh aloe gel inside to keep it potent. Induction sealing creates a foil barrier over the container. This guarantees no air gets in. If a bottle is cloudy, the air blast removes it immediately. Only the best pass. Robotic arms pick up the jars. They place the aloe gel into boxes so gently. The machine tucks in the user manual. This ensures you know how to use skincare. A spray of hot melt glue seals the box shut. It is secure for travel. The packaging is done. The aloe vera soothing gel box is now complete and ready. Every box gets a batch code printed on it. This tracks exactly when it was made. We wrap a dozen boxes in plastic film. The shrink tunnel tightens it into a bundle. Robots pack these units into shipping cartons. They work tirelessly to fill every master case. The tape sealer closes the master carton. These boxes contain hundreds of precious aloe products. Cartons marked fragile merge onto the main line. They join thousands ready for the warehouse. Workers and machines stack cartons on wooden pallets. They built a stable tower of aloe. The spinning wrapper secures the shipment. Stretch film goes around to hold everything very tightly. A swarm of robots carries pallets across the floor. It looks like a futuristic dance. This is the cathedral of goods. The shelves are filled with millions of aloe products. Looking down this infinite aisle, you see endless supplies of aloe cosmetics stored safely here. Watch the crane speed. It lifts a pallet of aloe gel high up to the ceiling. Data screens show stock numbers increasing. We are tracking every single bottle in the system. We store fresh organic products in this chilled zone. Keeps ingredients perfectly stable here. When an order comes, the crane brings down a pallet of aloe for immediate shipping. Trucks are waiting at the loading bay. They are ready to take skincare products away. It is a forklift ballet out here. They load carton after carton into waiting trucks. The truck is completely filled with aloe vera gel. It is now ready for departure. Aloe transport trucks leave the factory gate. They are starting a long journey to customers. You can see the fleet on the highway. Trucks with aloe branding join traffic streams. At the port, containers of exported aloe wait in line. The trade scale is massive. Giant cranes lift the aloe cargo onto the ship. It is heading to international waters. The ship carries aloe vera across the ocean. It travels thousands of miles to you. For premium products, we use air cargo. Flying planes deliver fresh aloe to distant markets. The map shows lines connecting the factory to global cities. We are reaching the world. Finally, bottles of aloe vera gel arrive at the retail store. They sit on shelves. In today's journey, we are going to explore the incredible process inside a factory that turns simple cocoa beans into those iconic chocolate Santas just in time for Christmas. If you are curious about how the holiday magic happens, come along and let's find out together. Have you ever wondered where the magic of your favorite Christmas chocolate Santa actually begins? It starts right here, on this massive industrial plantation stretching endlessly under the golden morning sun. Look down there. Those heavy tractors aren't just driving. They use mechanical shakers to vibrate the trees. It is literally raining ripe cocoa pods into the catchment net systems spread out below. This harvest is the crucial first step. Once gathered, the pods ride the conveyor belt and are dumped into the large trailer bins. Back at the facility, full trailers arrive and tip tons of pods into a massive hopper. Watch this industrial splitter work. It slices the fruit open gently without damaging a single bean inside. See that white pulp? It flows like a river into these wooden boxes to ferment properly. Over time, you can actually watch the beans turn brown, unlocking that essential chocolate flavor. Finally, automated spreaders lay them out on concrete patios to sun-dry, turned by this giant mechanical rake to ensure perfection. Now, the dried beans are sucked through pneumatic tubes into huge storage silos. ready for processing. After a good shake on the multi-deck sieve to remove any dust or stones, they enter the roaster. Imagine the smell in here. It is the intense, warm scent of Christmas baking. Inside that spinning drum, the heat cracks the shells and releases the steam. Next, the roasted beans hit the breaker, but we can't make a smooth Santa with shells. This winnowing machine uses air jets to blow the lighter husks away, leaving only pure, dark nibs. They look like gravel, but they are pure chocolate. We crush these nibs down until friction turns them into a coarse paste and then liquid cocoa liquor. And look at this heavy hydraulic press working. It squeezes the liquor to separate the golden cocoa butter blocks from the brown cake. That butter is the secret ingredient, while the cake gets pulverized into fine powder for other treats. Here is where the chemistry meets the holiday spirit. We mix that cocoa liquor and butter back together with sugar and milk powder. At first, it looks rough, almost like wet sand moving up the bucket elevator. But watch what happens when it hits these 5 heavy steel rollers. They crush the mixture until the particles are microscopic. That is exactly how we get that velvety texture. The flakes then fall into the huge conching tank. This part is mesmerizing. Paddles knead the chocolate for hours, blending in soy lecithin and vanilla until it becomes glossy. It transforms from a paste into a silky, flowing liquid inside the machine. Pumped through pipelines, it is monitored constantly by digital gauges. But before we can mold our Santa, the chocolate must be tempered. That means heating and cooling it through plates. See the technician checking the digital graph? We need that temperature curve absolutely perfect so the finished Santa has that satisfying, crisp snap. Now for the moment we have all been waiting for. Finally bringing Santa Claus to life. These empty polycarbonate molds are warmed up and moving fast on the chain conveyor. They pass under a heater to reach the exact temperature needed to receive the chocolate. Watch the multi-head depositor go. It fills the Santa cavities with liquid chocolate in the blink of an eye. It flows into every tiny intricate detail, from his flowing beard to his toy sack. A quick shake on the vibrating table removes air bubbles to ensure a perfectly smooth surface. Then, a scraping station cleans the excess chocolate off the top edges. For hollow figures, they enter the spinner. This machine rotates the molds 360 degrees. Why? To make sure the centrifugal force spreads the chocolate evenly across the inner walls. Into the blue UV glow of the long cooling tunnel, they go to harden up completely. We travel alongside them in the cold as the chocolate sets. When they emerge, frosted with condensation, the molds are inverted, and a gentle mechanical tap is all it takes. And there he is, rows of shiny, naked chocolate Santas dropping gently onto the soft belt. It looks like a delicious little army marching in formation. Quality sensors scan each one to ensure no cracks before they move on. But Santa isn't ready for the sleigh without his famous red suit. We feed in these large, colorful rolls of foil, and the high-speed blades cut a precise square for each figure. It is incredibly delicate work. A mechanical pusher moves the chocolate into place, and cams lift the foil around the base. But look at those rotating brushes spinning rapidly. They are the real heroes here, gently smoothing the foil so you can see Santa's eyes and smile perfectly. Sponge rollers press down the sides for a seamless finish. Then, A specialized stamp press gently ensures the foil at the top of his hat looks crisp. They come out of the machine looking like sparkling, shiny ornaments, but we have to be sure they are perfect. As they merge into a single line, automated scales weigh every unit instantly. If one is too light, whoosh, a powerful jet of air blows it right off the line into the bin. We only want the perfect ones with the right face alignment, making it to your stocking. We are in the home stretch of the process now. Flat cardboard sheets are erected into boxes in seconds by the folding machine. Our finished Santas are gently lifted by suction and placed into trays. No robot arms here, just smooth mechanical precision. They slide smoothly into their open display boxes, get glued shut, and head quickly to the palletizer area. It is so satisfying watching the layer former push them into perfect square formations. Isn't it? Once the pallet is full, the machine lifts up and an orbital wrapper spins plastic around it to keep everything safe. And there they go, loaded by forklifts into the refrigerated truck. From a simple cocoa bean on a tropical tree to the star of your Christmas morning, our chocolate Santa is finally on his way to you. Happy holidays! Do you love that irresistible smell of popcorn every time you walk into a movie theater? But have you ever wondered how they turn these massive mountains of raw corn into these mesmerizing white explosions and create endless tsunamis of popcorn just like this? Today, we're going deep inside to see golden waterfalls of caramel, vibrant storms of cheese powder, and a billion-dollar world-class high-tech system. Welcome to the world's largest popcorn factory. Let's go explore. Have you ever wondered where your movie theater snacks actually come from? It starts right here with these endless fields. Look at that fleet of trucks arriving perfectly in sync. It's like a military operation. Whoa, watch this. They block out the sun, and then boom, a massive avalanche of gold. It's burying the camera. It flows just like liquid, doesn't it? Deep underground, these huge screws keep the wall of corn moving forward. Inside the silo, it's piling up into a literal mountain. Look up at the ceiling. It's like a highway system of belts. And there it goes, flying through the air to get where it needs to be. Now let's get a closer look. See that river of corn? It's mesmerizing how they shake together. They tumble down that waterfall, which is actually a vibrating screen to shake off any dirt. Watch the air nozzles blast the dust away. Poof! Now they are completely spotless. Look at them slide down the glass like a landslide. They are so clean they actually shine. This is impressive. 50 pipes feeding 50 machines all at once. Here comes the golden oil injecting right on time. The mixture swirls into a vortex. Look at that glisten, you can practically feel the heat rising. Walking down this hallway, the anticipation is building. Wait for it, pop. One kernel turns inside out and then chain reaction. Thousands explode in milliseconds, pushing that heavy lid open with pure force. This is my favorite part. 20 kettles pouring at the exact same second. It's a total white tsunami crashing down. We are completely buried in it. The whole factory floor looks like a sea of clouds now. They bounce high to cool down. It looks like a snowstorm in here. That giant drum rains popcorn down to sift out the unpopped ones, keeping the river of white flowing fast and thick. Can you imagine the roar in here? It's vibrating the floor. It's piling up so high it's almost spilling over. Now, follow the river as it enters the dark, steaming caramel tunnel. Look at that bubbling vat. That is some serious heat. Pours like a heavy amber waterfall. Inside the drum, it's a curtain of liquid sugar turning everything golden instantly. See those sticky strands stretching in slow motion? Beautiful. A shiny mountain slides out, and those mechanical claws gently break it up so every piece is perfect for snacking. Over on this line, it's an orange powder storm for the cheese lovers. The belt shakes it all up. Then, millions of pieces dance through the cold air to get that perfect, crispy glaze. Now the two rivers merge, cheddar and caramel streams coming together. It's a hypnotic kaleidoscope spinning in there. A treasure hoard of snacks, checked by high-speed cameras to ensure perfection. Welcome to the packaging hive. 50 machines running in total sync. It's moving faster than your eyes can even track. It's just a shower of popcorn filling bags in the blink of an eye. Hear that rhythm? CH chunk, CH chunk. Hundreds of bags drop every single second. They merge onto the main highway. It is so packed together you can't even see the belt underneath. Little robots flip them straight, and labels get slapped on like machine gun fire. Oops, that one got kicked off for being too light. Up the spiral they go. It's actually making me dizzy watching it. From above, those concentric circles are hypnotic. Now they hit the boxing machine, a solid wall of product. Mechanical pushers shove 10 bags into a box at once without hesitating. Boxes fly through the taper without stopping. It's like automatic Tetris organizing them into layers. Watch this pallet build a tower in seconds, and that wrapper spins so fast it's a blur. There is an endless line of finished pallets moving out. Look at the scale of this warehouse. shelves 50 feet high. These little robots do a synchronized dance to move everything around. Finally, they load a wall of popcorn into the container. The doors close on tons of snacks, heading off to a movie theater near you. Pretty amazing journey, right?
On today's journey, we are going inside the massive factory that churns out thousands of perfect bagels every single day. If you're curious to see how it works, come along with me. Let's find out. Scenes 1 to 10. Welcome to sunrise over the bakery, where our delicious breakfast actually begins. Those massive silos tower against the sky, holding tons of flour inside them. Inside, digital panels track the temperature and flow rates with absolute precision. Watch that fine wheat flour dusting gently through the vibrating sifter mesh. It travels overhead through thick stainless steel pipes, like a hidden highway. Clean water rushes through high-pressure valves, measured perfectly by that gauge. Huge bags of sugar and syrup are getting hooked up to pumps. Even yeast granules tumble into dosing cups with a satisfying mechanical click. The production floor is pristine, shiny, and waiting for the work. Listen closely to the generator humming. The whole factory is waking up. Look down into this massive industrial spiral mixer bowl waiting for action. Suddenly, a waterfall of white flour pours rapidly into the deep bowl. Water jets spray from all sides, soaking the flour in mere seconds. The massive spiral hook begins turning slowly, tearing through all the ingredients. Watch the mixture transform from a shaggy mess to a smooth ball. See that texture stretching? That means the dough is getting strong now. The bowl tilts entirely upside down automatically to dump the heavy load. A giant dough mass flops onto the conveyor belt with a thud. It moves slowly towards the cutter, looking like a heavy, soft pillow. A metal guillotine blade chops the big mass into manageable little chunks. Chunks of dough fall into the large conical hopper to get started. Inside, pistons push the dough into volumetric cylinders to measure exact size. Then, dough balls pop out of the divider, looking perfectly equal. Hundreds of them march in straight rows like a little army. They enter the rounder, a spinning cone channel that shapes them. Traveling up the spiral, they get tighter and smoother on the surface. Smooth balls drop onto the resting conveyor to relax for a moment. Now they enter the bagel former, where the real magic happens. A roller flattens each ball into a perfect flat oval shape. It wraps around a metal mandrel, curling tightly into a ring. The mechanism rolls the dough over itself to seal the ends shut. Perfectly formed raw bagels drop from the mandrels onto the moving belt. It is a continuous stream of raw rings moving fast downstream. A laser sensor checks the quality, measuring the diameter and height instantly. A jet of air blasts any deformed bagel right into the bin. We are entering the proofer, a massive room with controlled climate. Bagels are automatically loaded onto swinging tray shelves for a nice nap. Watch the trays rising vertically into the towering proofer structure above us. A steam nozzle releases fine mist, keeping the air humid and warm. The surface of the bagel dough relaxes and begins expanding slightly here. In this time-lapse, the hole gets smaller as the dough puffs up. Soft amber light highlights the yeast activity happening inside the dough. Looking up, Thousands of bagels are circling overhead on the tracks. Finally, the trays descend towards the exit, bringing the dough back down. Compare these two. The proof bagel is much larger than the raw one. Bagels tip off the trays and fall onto a metal mesh conveyor. They head to the kettle, a long tank of fiercely boiling water. They drop into the boiling water, sinking briefly before floating back up. Bubbles surround the dough, gelatinizing the starch to create that chewiness. The skin of the bagel turns shiny and taut in the heat. They float downstream together like a river of little dough rafts. A paddle mechanism flips the bagels over to boil the other side. You can see water splashing as the paddle hits the surface hard. A mesh-inclined belt lifts the wet bagels out of the water. Excess water drips off the bagels through the mesh, leaving them sticky. Wet bagels enter the seeding station to get their signature flavor now. A curtain of poppy seeds rains down continuously, covering everything below. You can see seeds hitting the sticky, wet surface of the bagel. A roller gently presses the seeds into the dough to keep them there. Underneath, excess seeds fall through the belt so they can be recycled. This is the entrance to the tunnel oven, huge, long, and hot. Bagels transfer from the mesh belt to the solid hearthstone belt. Inside, gas flames flicker in blue rose, baking the dough perfectly. Watch the pale dough start to rise rapidly in the intense heat. The seeds are toasting now, releasing natural oils and a little smoke. The crust turns from white to having beautiful golden brown spots. Micro blisters form on the crust, a sign of a very good boil. It is an endless sea of golden bagels moving through the heat. At the oven exit, hot air is shimmering around the finished product. Finished bagels tumble off the hot belt onto the cooling line. The spiral cooler is a mesmerizing tower of winding belts and motion. Bagels travel upward in circles to cool down before they get packed. Steam rises gently from a cooling bagel, carrying that fresh-baked scent. Automated mechanical fingers stack bagels into perfect groups of 6 for us. A plastic bag seals around the stack, and the label is applied. On today's journey, we are stepping inside a massive facility to discover exactly how thousands of rustic sourdough loaves are crafted every single day. If you are curious to see the magic happen, come along with me and let's find out. Welcome to this massive complex where we bake thousands of sourdough loaves every day. Just look at those giant steel silos towering high against the clear morning sky. They are filled with tons of pure rye grain, the heart of our sourdough. Watch it pour into the grate, a continuous, golden river feeding the factory. We get a macro view here, seeing the dust dancing in the morning light. Rushing through the tubes, the grain travels at incredible speeds to the grinders. Here, huge industrial machines crush the grain into a coarse, beautiful flour waterfall. Finally, automated vehicles move these pallets of fresh ingredients across the busy floor. Check out these massive stainless steel mixing bowls moving on the track system. High-pressure water jets spray mist into the flour to start the mixing process. Then, giant spiral mixers descend, rotating heavily to knead the dense rye mixture. In this time lapse, You see the dark dough combining and changing texture rapidly. The mixer lifts automatically, revealing a thick, sticky dough ready for the next step. The bowl travels smoothly along a rail to the quiet fermentation room hall. Here, rows of hundreds of bowls sit in a temperature-controlled hall, resting. Look closely at the bubbles forming on the surface. That is the sourdough fermenting. Red digital numbers show the precise temperature control needed for this biological magic. Now, a hydraulic tilter lifts the massive bowl up high in the air. In slow motion, the giant blob of sourdough falls into the divider hopper. Mechanical scrapers clean the sides automatically, ensuring not a single bit is wasted. The dough is extruded through nozzles at the bottom, heading for the cutters. Mechanical blades chop the dough into equal weight chunks with incredible speed and precision. Watch them drop into the large conical rounder machine to get their shape. They spiral up the cone, becoming perfectly spherical balls of fresh sourdough dough. From above, you see rows of perfect dough balls moving on the belt. They pass under a stamper that marks a signature cross pattern on top. A gentle flour dusting rains down, giving them that classic rustic sourdough look. Then, the round balls drop into individual proofing pockets to rest for a while. We follow a tray of these doughs entering the massive proofing system now. It is a towering vertical spiral system that seems to go on forever. Over time, the round balls double in size, becoming soft, puffy domes. The cross pattern on top expands widely as the sourdough sphere grows larger. Looking up, you see a spiral tower filled with thousands of round doughs. Suddenly, trays flip over to release the dough onto the hot oven belt. They land softly on the mesh, ready to meet the intense baking heat. We are entering the 50-meter-long tunnel oven, glowing with intense heat inside. The view blurs from the heat distortion as we travel deeper into the fire. Gas flames roar above the rows, baking thousands of sourdough loaves at once. Watch the oven spring happen. The loaves puff up dramatically into balls. The scored cuts burst open, revealing the inner texture and letting steam escape. We follow the golden domes as they travel through the different heat zones. Steam jets blast the bread to create that thick, crunchy sourdough crust. We finally exit the tunnel oven, emerging into the bright and cool light. Giant, rustic round loaves emerge, smoking hot like cannonballs from the heat. A mechanical bar gently pushes the round loaves onto the cooling belt. The empty baking surface loops back, ready for the next batch of dough. High-pressure air cleans crumbs off the belt to keep everything spotless. Sunlight hits the flour-dusted crust, making the round breads look absolutely magnificent. It is a geometric spectacle of thousands of circles moving together in unison. An optical sensor scans the diameter of each bowl to ensure absolute perfection. Now they enter the cooling tower, a massive double spiral conveyor system for bread. We rise up along with the round loaves, taking a long, slow cooling ride. Steam evaporates slowly, allowing the round crust to harden and set properly. Endless rows of round shapes create a mesmerizing pattern that never seems to end. The mesh belt allows cool air to reach the flat bottom of the bowl. The bread descends, now cool, firm, and ready for the slicing machines. Round loaves enter the wide guides, lining up perfectly for the blades. Vibrating blades slice through the hard crust without crushing the round shape. In slow motion, large middle slices fall slightly forward, revealing the inside texture. Even after slicing, the beautiful round shape of the loaf is preserved. Macro shots show the open crumb structure, typical of a fermented sourdough. Air jets keep the slices standing upright as they move to packaging. From above, sliced round loaves move quickly towards the bagging area lines. Cameras check the round profile one last time to guarantee quality control. Finally, the lanes merge, creating a rushing river of sliced round bread. Wider plastic bags are blown open to fit the large sourdough bowls. Mechanical paddles push the round loaf into the bag with a gentle nudge. The twist tie machine gathers the bag neck and seals the freshness inside. We see the expiry date being printed clearly on the colorful clip tag. Finished bag round loaves move to the crates, ready for the world. An automated stacker places bags gently into crates, row by precise row. From below, we see crates stacking up, full of round bread packages. Forklifts move pallets of the rustic bread to the loading bay area. They are loaded into the truck, destined for stores and tables everywhere. The factory stays active at full capacity, producing thousands of delicious sourdough loaves.